Hello and welcome back to the Mind Spaces podcast. My name is Kate. I am your mental well-being mentor, and I am so excited that you have decided to tune in for this second episode. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about how to tune in with yourself, how to make yourself your priority so that you can really listen to yourself, listen to your desires, to your needs, to your feelings, and to what your soul is telling you. You know how we are running around all day from appointment to appointment and from one assignment to the other? I feel like sometimes we get lost in the process. At least that is how I felt sometimes. I felt like, when you're running so much and doing all these things that you need to do, that you are told that you needed to do, you kind of forget yourself in the process. You put yourself in second place and you lose sight of how you feel, of what it is that you want, and of what is going on within yourself. Sometimes it is necessary to put yourself aside when you are working on a big project or when you are helping out someone. Sometimes we put ourselves in the background, and that is completely okay. But putting yourself in the background too often and too much is going to result in you not letting yourself feel the emotions that you feel. And that might result in overwork, overwhelm, and make all these feelings come up and make all these feelings like a little stress ball come up into your throat. At least I feel it in my throat. Maybe you feel it somewhere else, and that's completely okay. I feel like when you are in this state of putting yourself in the background and losing sight of yourself, of your needs, of your desires, of your priorities, and of yourself, we fall pretty fast in disalignment. And disalignment feels really shitty. Let's just say things as they are. Feeling disaligned is going to make you feel irritable, tired, unsatisfied, frustrated, unhappy, feeling like you don't belong, feeling stressed out, and feeling invisible, and sometimes even feeling lonely. I know that I felt really lonely in my disalignment. When I was studying medicine, I really often had this feeling in the back of my head that I don't belong. And I didn't want to allow myself to feel that, because feeling that you don't belong sucks. And feeling that you don't belong when you are so far in something, when you're so invested in something, also really sucks. So I tried to put it in the background, but I'm sure you've guessed it, it didn't help. I felt like I didn't really have anyone to talk to about this. And I also couldn't talk about this to myself because I wouldn't allow myself to do that. And this feeling was really difficult to bear, especially in the long run. It makes you feel really tired, and it makes you feel really stressed out, and also really frustrated about the entire situation. I think Pablo is snoring. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm so sorry. All right, anyways, let's keep going. So I think that the first step to take if you are feeling disaligned, if you're feeling that there's something that you are trying to tell yourself, but you don't really give yourself the space to feel it and to tell yourself this message, make time for yourself. Really take time where you can dedicate a moment free from distraction, free from other assignments or appointments, a time that you can really schedule in, dedicated to yourself. Listen to yourself, tune in with yourself. Maybe you can even ask yourself, what do I feel right now? And when you do that, it is important to know that whatever you're feeling is really valid. There are no invalid emotions. Whatever you're feeling is completely okay. It is completely valid. It is your feeling, your emotion. It is okay that you're feeling that way. Try to acknowledge your feelings without judgment, without judging yourself, because it's completely okay that you feel that way. When I was in med school, I was living a pretty happy life. I had everything that I needed and even more, and I had amazing friends, and I had a great time, and I really felt like I am not in a place to feel that way. I am not in a place to feel bad about my situation because my situation is really good. And even if your situation is really good and if it's really important to be grateful for the things that you have, for all the amazing things that are going on in your life, for all the opportunities that you have, and maybe for the safety that you have, even if it's really, really important to feel this gratitude for all these things that are offered to us and that we already have, it is okay to feel the way that you feel. You know, when we have a feeling, this disalignment feeling, this feeling of not belonging, the feeling that there is something that is not quite right, I think that this happens when you are working on a long goal. It happens even if the goal is right for you. For me, medicine, at least at the moment right now, I feel that it's not right for me. But sometimes I also feel like this about coaching. I feel scared. I feel worried about whether it is all going to work out, whether it is a good decision, whether I have what it takes. And this is also something that I asked myself a lot during med school. Do you have what it takes? And I think that underneath this feeling lies another emotion. So what is the emotion behind what you feel? Maybe you're feeling a certain way right now, and you can feel that this feeling wants to come out of you, wants to talk to you. So talk to it. What could be the feeling, the emotion, or the underlying process that is happening within you? Often the underlying emotion is fear. Fear of not having what it takes. Fear of disappointing. Fear of not being loved. Fear of being judged. Our brain is wired to keep us safe. And in order to do that, our brain produces these thoughts. Our brain tries to tell us, don't go out of your comfort zone because maybe it might be dangerous outside of your comfort zone. Maybe it's not such a good idea to do such a big change because change is scary. Change could come with unknown situations. It could come with unexpected things happening and you could be in danger. But when we really think about it, change is inevitable. Change is happening whenever we try to facilitate it, when we provoke it, when we work towards change and actively get out of our comfort zone, change is happening. But I believe that change is also happening when we're trying to stay the same, when we're choosing to not take a risk. We are also changing what is going to happen in the future. We are taking a decision. And also, I believe that the human nature is always changing. No matter what you do, your environment is going to change, is going to evolve. Your work is going to change and evolve. Your private life is going to change and evolve. Maybe you will get kids, maybe you will get married, and maybe your private life is going to change in a whole other way. But change is absolutely inevitable. In order to listen to yourself, to really tune in with yourself, it is important to ask yourself the right questions. Ask yourself the right questions to figure out how you really feel, what you feel, why you might feel that way. It is really important to ask yourself questions that bring you forward, that are essentially questioning you to find a solution, that are nurturing your mind to think, to come up with an idea, come up with something that is going to give you hindsight. There are really powerful questions that we can ask ourselves. Like, for example, how can I be there for myself right now? What does my soul need right now to feel good? What can I do for myself today? And these are the questions that you want to ask yourself. Questions like, why am I so stupid? are not the right questions. But I'm sure you figured that by now. What I mean is, it is really important to ask yourself powerful questions. Questions that are going to empower you from within, that are going to stimulate you, that are going to make you resourceful, activate the resources that you have, and go out there and crush it. You know, when you go on your introspection journey, when you take time to really look deep into yourself, into your soul, into your feelings, things might come up, and that's completely okay. If you let these things that want to come up, whenever you're ready to let them come up, because that's also really important that you're ready. If you don't feel ready, if something makes you feel really bad, or if you don't feel safe, if you would prefer going through this with someone, getting help to go through this, then that is perfectly fine, and I would really, really advise you to do so. But if you feel that something is coming up, and if you feel safe listening to it, tuning in with yourself, and if you feel safe letting it out, then let it out. What helps me a lot is saying it out loud. When I say it out loud, the weight of it just drops. I remember that just the fact of telling myself, like, yeah, I have studied a lot, but even though I studied at the best of my capacity, I am still so scared of this exam because I don't know if I can make it. I am really scared that I'm going to fail. I'm really scared that I'm going to disappoint my family if I fail. I am really scared of what my friends might think of me if I fail this exam. Does it mean that I'm dumb if I fail this exam? All these kind of things. And just allowing myself to say this, allowing myself to feel it, allowing myself and acknowledging that it's there just helped so much, because I was no longer holding it in this little nerve ball that was hiding in my chest and saying to me, like, hi, you're trying to study, but I'm still here and I will haunt you. So, just allowing yourself to let it out, feel it. And then once I said it, I was like, hey, look, I know you're scared, Kate. I know you're feeling that way, but it's okay. It's normal. You want to be successful. You want to pass your exam. Of course you're scared. You'd be crazy if you wouldn't be scared. And of course you want to succeed. Of course you don't want to disappoint. But would your family really be disappointed on you if you failed this exam, even though you did your best? Probably it would be okay. Would your friends really think less of you because you failed your exam? Probably not. And just like that, you realize that it's okay, you're scared, fine, but that you're gonna do it anyways. And just like that, you get less in your head because you allow yourself to express your feelings, to express your emotions, to acknowledge them, and to not judge yourself for them. So now I'm asking you, what is it that you need right now? I would love for you to write it down somewhere, take a minute to really reflect and tune in with yourself. If you want, you can even share it in the comments if there is a comment section on the platform that you're listening to this. I hope that you have enjoyed today's podcast episode. I would love to hear your thoughts about this podcast. If you liked it, then give it a thumbs up and see you in the next one.